everybody. So today I want to go through or go over palettes that are either Halloween themed or give me the sense of Halloween. I do have two separate piles, ones that are definitely Halloween themed and then ones that are Halloween-esque. I was gonna do a fall palette video, but I just didn't have time. So a lot of these I do consider to be fall colors as well. There are a couple palettes that I haven't included in here because they're like strictly like my fall colors. Not to say that you can only use certain colors during certain times of the year. That is not what I mean. If you're interested in this look, this was a Get Ready With Me Shop My Stash edition for October. And I am actually using one of the fall palettes, or I'm sorry, Halloween palettes. So if you're interested in that, make sure to go check it out. And if you like videos like this and want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe. So I'm going to start with the palettes that are not necessarily Halloween, but give me a Halloween vibe. So first, and these are not like ranked or in any kind of order. These are palettes I hope to be able to use this month. Even if it's just once for each palette, that would still make me very happy. So first I have the Cosmic Beauty Gothic palette. And this is kind of like a witchy vibe palette to me. It's got some pinks and purples. Cosmic Beauty is one of my favorite brands because they just have amazing formulation. They did have the best pricing, but with tariffs, that's kind of changed a little bit, and but their quality is still top tier. Next is the Fantasy Cosmetica Harvest of Souls. This is, I think, their biggest palette. All the other palettes are 9 pans. And just the color story and some of the names, definitely the murky tones. And then when you think of Halloween, you're thinking of, you know, the veil being thinned and, you know, souls being able to cross over back and forth. So that is that one. Another one that I have is from from Unearthly Cosmetics. It is the Lore palette. So it has Medusa, and then the color story. I see oranges and like burnt reds and purples as kind of Halloween theme because of pumpkins and gourds. So that is why I feel like this is kind of like a Halloween-esque palette. Another one is the Good Guys Want to Play from Glamlight. It's a Chucky palette. When I think of Chucky, I think horror movies. When I think of horror movies, I think of Halloween, even though I watch them year-round. I'm a huge horror fanatic. I love scary movies and things like that. So that is this palette right here. So it's not, I guess the oranges kind of do it for me, but it's more of the theming of the palette. The Unearthly Cosmetics Dead of Night. So this one is very dark, kind of mysterious. So that kind of gives me Halloween. So I have the Gargoyle palette from Unearthly. This is more of like, again, the theming than the color story. When I think of gargoyles, I think of cathedrals and like vampire stories, since they are protectors. So that is the Gargoyle palette. And then the next 3 are from Blend Bunny. Again, this is more of like the theming of it. So first I have Lure, which is kind of has like a mermaid scale theme on it. And then the color story, there's no oranges in it, but I could see the purples and blues. What? You playing with toes? The next is the Divination palette, which was in collaboration with Robert Welsh. This has a very broad color story, but when you think of divination, you kind of think of witches. And lastly, for like the actual Halloween is the Beauty Below. Again, mermaid sirens. I think of Halloween, especially when they're the scary versions instead of the Disney versions. So that is this color story. It's very dark. And then to get into the actual palettes that to me just scream Halloween in and out. So first, which is what I used to create this eye look today, is the Glamlight Trick or Treat palette. So if you're interested in that, make sure to go back and check the Shop My Stash video, because these palettes could be considered part of Shop My Stash. And then I have the Glamlight on Elm Street. This is the green palette. Freddy Krueger, definitely horror, definitely Halloween. And then I have the other one as well, which is the red version. This one really reminds me of the Coca-Cola collab that Glamlight did, except I think this might be a slightly better quality, along with better colors. So then I have the Scooby-Doo Creeps and Crawls. This is a purple, dark teal, dark blue. And then I also have the Scooby-Doo Rut-Row Raggy. And I really like these smaller palettes that Glamlight does, that are just like these little, easy to stack, easy to store. They do seem to be a different quality than their other palettes, but I still like them. So this is the Rut-Row Raggy. This is like the green and blue color story. I love green. It's one of my favorite colors, especially for makeup. And eyeshadow, I just think it looks really good. And then I have the Friday the 13th Camp Crystal Lake. This is very dark and grungy. This is similar and reminds me to the Kiss palette, but again, better quality. If you hear noise in the background, my daughter's playing in the floor. I have the Ghostface Returns, which was like the redone version of the original. So a lot of people were upset that there wasn't reds because, you know, he's a slab skiller. So I do like how there's neutrals and then reds, and then it's not all dark and grungy. There is lighter shades in there. I think this palette's really inclusive in that way, and I really enjoy that about this palette. Ghostface palette, Ghostface Lives. So this one was dark. It did go kind of light. This is like a very gray tone, dark color story. And when I say gray tone, I mean like the under color of it, the undertone. You know, there's warm, cools, neutrals. This one seems kind of gray. And then I have the Chucky Crazy in Love. This is kind of like an anti-Valentine's Day palette too. So this is very, very dark and grungy. As you can see, there's like a silver shade right here. But an issue you can get with like really dark like this is sometimes they're the same. Ooh. Yeah? What you got? Having the same depth, which means like you can't get like a gradient or anything like that. There are a few shades in here that are light so that you can get a gradient. And then we have the Halloween 2 with Michael Myers. And I really enjoy this palette. It's definitely got the orange color that I really love for Halloween time. The two orange shimmers are kind of close in color. I think they could have changed that up a little bit. I do like there's neutrals and then blues. It definitely gives the overall Mikey feel to it. Alright, so next I have the two Nomad Cosmetics palettes. I don't have the one that they released this year, the Salem Witch. Again, the low buy, no buy, but it is definitely on my wish list. So first I have the Haunted Europe. Again, definitely has the Halloween feel to it. I can say Nomad is pretty good about putting neutrals in case you like neutral with color, or if you're kind of stepping into color to kind of help bridge the gap. And then I have the Ghost Town USA. Again, this is a pretty neutral heavy one. This is definitely darker and grungier. So, not necessarily the color story says Halloween to me, but definitely, you know, the ghost town. And then we have the Cosmic Beauty Sinister. This was, I want to say, the Halloween release last year. I don't think I've seen anything for this year. But it came in like a mystery bundle, Sinister. There's like a little handprint. It's got, you know, the reds, the purples, the grays. This is a kind of like a clear gloss that probably will never be used. So, and I think one of my colors is trying to shatter from what it looks like, but and then some of my favorites, these are from Odin's Eye, and all three of them are with Angelica. They're collabs. The first one, which actually has come back in stock, and I'm really surprised about it because I think it was like 2 years ago and they brought it back, and that is the Hella palette. I love keeping the sleeves for Odin's Eye because they're not always the same. I wouldn't say this is like a Halloween color story, but I definitely think Hella, the actual storyline, could be considered Halloween. And then the two other palettes are 100% Halloween because it is the Little Ghost palette and the Trick or Treat palette. So you got your pumpkins. I love the artwork they do. So here is the Little Ghost. So it's got like the fun, bright colors that you could use for the lighter mythical creatures or even candy colors. And then last I have is the Trick or Treat palette. Again, very fun. I don't think I'll ever declutter these because I love the fact that they're Halloween, and then Angelica is one of my favorite YouTubers as far as makeup and beauty goes. And here is that. This is definitely Halloween, but I can also see a little bit of Christmas. So I think that's really fun. And that would be all of the palettes that are, you know, Halloween themed, came out on Halloween, or have like the Halloween-esque feeling for me. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, again, make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one.